You know what they say. Something's got to give. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams, each riding a 3-game win streak, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the second tallest quarterback in league history at 6'7". It's Brock Osweiler.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
60 outlaw.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
Let's go, D. Watch the edge.
He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Osweiler. Underneath for Miller. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Osweiler. Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
First down, Houston.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. The 7th play now in this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They'll be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback, leading rusher amongst QBs in 2018, Lamar Jackson.
And I like his honesty, because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say, that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling them in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. It looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
And the Baltimore Ravens pride themselves on being physical on offense. One reason why? Perennial Pro Bowl guard Marshall Yanda, who played his first 16-game season since 2015 and 2018. And when he's right, the Baltimore offense rolls.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Dixon. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Out to his left. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Check 41. I don't even know why this team showed up. Showing up. Montaigne, 41. We got to wedge that, huh? Go, let him breathe.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And now it's 2nd down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
We own them.
They'll run it with Dixon. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
On 2nd down and 4. Osweiler, this to Jarwin. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Draw play. This is Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
This is Deontay Foreman, a man who missed nearly all of 2018. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Coming to you, coming to you. 41 Mike, 41 Mike. It's just me and you.
Now Jackson on first down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now a draw play with Dixon. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides when that derriere dips, if you will, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got Snead. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now on first, Dixon again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A first down carry now for Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down now, it's Miller. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third down, Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now Brown. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense. But a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. On second down, it's Dixon, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his first career NFL touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. They begin with a run by Miller. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, the Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
On 2nd and 15 now. Osweiler throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Osweiler. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Off the play fake. Here's Osweiler going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. I'll guarantee you Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Jackson Throwing again. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught by Brown. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. It's complete to Snead. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Check.
Jackson will throw again. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Jackson now being chased out left. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Texans defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now Osweiler. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Osweiler. It's caught. It's Miller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw again is Osweiler. The catch made by Hopkins. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Here's Osweiler. It's complete to Hopkins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
40's a month. I'm coming. There you go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Osweiler. That's caught. It's Thomas. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the visiting Steelers who were able to walk away with the road victory. 31-13 was the final. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw again. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And they wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down, it's Miller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Osweiler now to throw on third down. This to Jarwin. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Osweiler on first down. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long, it's Osweiler. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On second down, it's Edwards. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Jackson to throw on third down. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll begin with much more advantageous starting field position than they did on their last drive as they come up here 1st and 10. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
And the Texans first down.
People worry about throwing the route because often it can get jumped and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Miller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9. Osweiler looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go!
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Dixon. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Right back to Dixon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Get him!
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Jackson. And an alley to run. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Dixon. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground with Dixon. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play. Wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically. But it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway. And now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Rolling to his right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Now that's a killer because you think you get it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
On the double. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Osweiler. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now Jackson dancing to his left. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Brock Osweiler now heading out there to get set to go here on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Completes it to Benjamin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Texans on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game. And he's got a first down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on third down, Osweiler going underneath, complete to Jarwin. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Osweiler. He's got Fuller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Osweiler. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On 1st down, Edwards. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Now Dixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. So now the Texans down by 11. And time, a huge factor. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on 1st down. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, Osweiler. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
to Will Fuller. A gain on the play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
First down now, but that clock rolling. From midfield now, here's Osweiler. Benjamin's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Now Osweiler. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Baltimore, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.